elimination. I think most people tend to like it better than substitution, but you can decide that for yourself. So for elimination, we need both equations to have the x's and then the y's equals some number. We don't have one of them as x equals or y equals. Right? And our goal is to eliminate one of the variables. What does the word eliminate mean?
Get rid of.
Get rid of. We want to cancel out, get rid of a variable. We do that by turning the coefficients, the numbers in front, into 0. So like if we combine like terms, we want to combine those to be 0. What two numbers add to be 0?
3 and 3.
That adds to be 6.
Oh gosh.
0 and 0.
Besides 0 and 0.
Negative 3 and 3.
Negative 3 and positive 3. What else?
Well, that's what I was looking at.
What else?
Wait, what?
What else adds to be 0?
Negative 5 and 5.
Negative 5 and 5. What else?
Negative 6 and 6.
Yes. So a number, 6 and negative 6, a number and its negative add to be 0. That's what we want. We want to have a variable, either the x's or the y's, where the numbers in front add to be 0. So let's look at number 1. If I add, so I'm looking at both equations. If I add either the x's or the y's, would either of those turn into 0?
Yeah, negative 3.
The x's, the 3 and the negative 3. Good. So what we're going to do is we're just going to eliminate that variable because it adds up to be 0. We're going to add everything else straight down. So what is negative 5y plus y?
Can you scoot it down on the page a little bit because the glare from the light is like right.
Negative 5y plus y is what? Negative 4y. Did that help any? If you need to scoot up, you can. Negative 18 plus 6 is what?
Negative 12.
Negative 12. So we see what I did? I just added straight down. I added the y's, I added the plain numbers. And then what we're going to do is solve for y. So what do I need to do to get y by itself? Divide both sides by negative 4.
How do you break the habit of, like, whenever I'm pulling stuff down, I always just, like, if it's, like, dividing by 4, I always just, like, put the 4s, and I always forget the negative sign.
You just got to be more careful. What's negative 12 divided by negative 4? 3. So y equals 3. I don't have my x yet. I have to plug it back in, and I can pick either equation that I want. Now, plugging it back in it takes a couple more steps than substitution did. So if I go back, let's say that I like the first one better. 3x minus 5y equals negative 18. You could pick either one, and you would get the same answer. I know that y is 3, so I'm going to put a 3 in that spot. And solve for x. What's negative 5 times 3? Negative 15. So I have 3x minus 15 equals negative 18. And then I will add 15 to both sides. What is negative 18 plus 15? Negative 3. Dividing by 3 gives me x equals negative 1. So my solution is the point, x is always first, -1, 3. Do you like that better than substitution? It is going to get a little harder. There will be another step we have to do at the beginning, but most people do prefer this. We'll get there. All right, if you're not, don't have it, write off, it's okay. We're going to do a few more examples before we take it a step up. So number 2, do we have a variable that we can eliminate? The y's, right? So the x's, no. The y's, I have a +9 and a -9y. So I can eliminate those. And everything else I'm going to add straight down. -x, that's really -1x. And -10x. What do I get when I add -1 and -10? -11x equals. Now when your plain numbers would cancel out, we actually want to put a 0 in for there. So we want to have it -11x equals 0. And then I'm going to divide both sides by -11.
Give me -11. No, give me 0. What am I talking about? That'd be
0 divided by -11 is 0. All right. Which equation do we like better, the first or second one?
First.
Okay. -x plus 9y equals 9. I know that x is 0, so I'm going to put a 0 in for x. -0 is just nothing. You don't need that. So I'm really just with 9y equals 9. How do I get y by itself? Divide by 9. And I get y equals 1. So my solution is the point 0, 1. Are there any questions so far? Yes.
Why did we do -1, 3 on the first one and then 0, 1?
Because it's always your x first. This one, I eliminated my x's, so when I solved, I got my y first. Here, my y is eliminated, so it was opposite. But you always look, this is x equals first. Alright, number 3. I'm going to start drawing cards, so do not yell out answers.
Why'd you look at me?
Alright, looking here, which variable is going to cancel out? Patience.
-3 and 3.
The -3 and 3x. So the x's are eliminated. Okay. And then I need to add straight down. So what do I get when I do 6y plus -9y? Zach, don't yell out, but luckily for you, it was your name. What is it? Okay. All right, and then I have 0 plus 15. Braden?
15.
Is 15. Very good. So -3y equals 15. And then I'm going to do what, Andrew? Divide by -3, and what's that going to give me?
-5.
Yep. Because 15 divided by -3 is -5. So this one I got y equals -5. And I have to plug that back in to either equation. Which equation do you all like better? I heard the first one first. -3x plus 6y equals 0. And I know, because I just found out, that y is -5. So I'm going to put a -5 in the y spot. And then, so I need to multiply the 6 and -5. And Ashley, what does that give me? What? Yep, -30. So I'm going to have -3x minus 30 equals 0. McKaylee, what's next?
You subtract 30 from both sides.
Careful, add 30. Yep,
Sorry.
you're good. So -3x equals 30. All right, and Kelly, what do I do last? Divide by -3. So Amanda, that gives me x equals what?
10.
Careful.
Oh,
It's 30 divided by -3. -10. Good. So my solution, x is first, is -10, -5. I want you to do number 4. I think I saw almost everybody get to at least y equals -1.
Yes.
The people that were making mistakes, it came in when you
Okay.
Okay. 4x and y equals -3. We seem to have been picking the top one always, but you x minus 9 times -3.
I got -9.
Okay. Here's the problem. When you multiply, this is x plus 9 equals.
Yep, I messed up big time.
Okay, and then I subtract 9 from both sides. And then dividing by 4 gives me x equals -3. One. Are there any questions before we take it up a notch? All right, well, let's look at number 5. If I add straight down, am I going to be able to eliminate You might want to cross out the y. Add -8 and -8.
-16.
You has to become a positive 8. -8 to make it positive. Besides, just erase the negative. That doesn't work.
divide the equation by -5.
The one.
Let's say multiply. a negative 8, negative 1, what do we get? Negative 8 times negative 1.
8.
Positive 8. So multiply everything by negative 1 and change the problem. Our answer, we can still find our answer. So what I'm going to do, and you can pick one at the top. We're going to multiply everything in the top one by negative 1. And I'm just negative 1 times 6, and that has an x. Negative 1 times negative 8y. Negative 1 times negative 10. And so we changed that top equation. The 2 that I have left, can I eliminate one of the variables?
Yes.
Yes, now I can eliminate the y's. We have 4x plus negative is what? Negative 2x equals negative negative 18. All right. So, Hayden, what's my next step? Negative 2. And Lincoln, what do I get? 18 divided by negative 2.
9.
You get 9. Good. All right. I put it in to find the y. I can plug it back into these originals or even my new one. Any of them. Plus 8y equals 10. I'm rewriting the whole equation. If you want to skip that and just next times 9 plus 8 equals 10. What is negative 6 times 9? Yeah. Negative 54 plus 8y equals 10. Next. Yep. Add 54. For this one, 10 plus 54. Y equals 64. What's my next step? Anybody? Divide by 8. Do I? You get 8. 64 divided by 8. So my solution is the point 9. Are there any?
So is that the hard part you were talking about? Or is there anything?
I smidgen harder.
Every time you come to multiply by negative 1,
Not necessarily. We're going to see some examples. It doesn't have to be negative. It's negative 8 and a positive 8. Our goal is to be able to smidgen harder that I'm talking about. We'll see some where we might have to multiply by number 3. Okay, so here on number 6, notice I positive 3x. I need one of those to be negative. Right. Or a positive and negative 12 or whatever. To turn a positive into a negative, you multiply it by negative 1. So I'm going to multiply everything in the top one. Times 6. Negative y is what? Negative 4y. And negative. Now, I am marking out that top equation. I would be careful. You might not, you still need to be one in case you've made a mistake somewhere. It might help me to go back and look. Maybe. And so now, equations so that I can cancel out the x's. They add up to be 0. I'm going to add straight down. So Brody, what do I get when I do 7? And what do I get when I do negative 20 and 14? Creed. Yes. Good. And then what's my next step going to be? Anybody? Divide by 3. So negative 6 divided by 3, Katie Lynn, is what? 2y equals negative 2. And now I'm going to plug that back in. What do we want to plug it back into?
Go with the one we made.
Next for y equals 14. Y is negative 2, so make sure you're plugging it into the right letter. Negative 3x, and I have two. What is that, Kylie? Yep. So negative 3x plus 8, because negative two. Alright, what is my subtract 8? So when I do 14 and 8, Rocky, what do I get? 6. Dividing both sides by negative 3 gives me x equals what, Ashley? Negative 2. Very good. So negative 2. Alright, we ain't done. Alright, so now I'm going to find one that I want to do. Alright, wait. Alright. variable? No. Any that all that needs to be done is their signs to be changed. So you can multiply. Actually, there might be two you could go about this and still get the right answer. If I see, I know or my y's need to be a positive 6. Either way, that would help me be able to eliminate one of the variables. If I'm the 6y, what can I multiply by to do that? So that's what my brain goes to. Some of you may say, well, I can multiply the bottom one by 9, and then the x's would cancel. Either way you do it, you should. And that 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3 20. So I kind of got rid of the middle one there.
Okay, so now we can get rid of them.
Figure out what you can multiply by. But by doing that, I made my y's be able to cancel out. I could have. I could say that. And then the x's would cancel. So yours, like if I left you alone to do this one, some of you may work different the y's, but you will still get the same answer in the end. Alright, so we need to add negative 9x and 2x to get negative 27 and 20. Negative 7. And so by negative 7 to get 7 divided by negative 7 is x equals 1. So there's my x. I've got to plug it. Sure. Yeah. Those are all positive numbers. But I like to say, well, pick the one that so x is 1. So I'm going to put that 1 in the x spot. 2 times 1 plus Zach, what is 2 plus 1? Or 2 times 1, sorry. 2 plus 6y equals 20. So Kylie, what do I need to do next?
Subtract the 2.
And that's going to give me what?
18.
Yep. 6y equals 18. And patience, what do I do next? Divide by 6, and that's going to give me what?
3.
Yep, y equals 3. So my solution is the point 1, 3. You would have got 1, 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're good at repeating.
Oh, come on. You didn't even say that.
Last one we're going to do is we're going to go back up to number 7. Do you see. Oh, no, that's not the one I wanted to do.
It's a good one to do, though.
No. All right, let's go to 10. I just want to get this example through. All right. What do you think I can multiply by to get a variable to cancel out?
-2. On the top one. -2.
Okay.
Now,
Hold on, Zach. What is 7 times -2?
See, like, you'd have to do positive 2, so you can get positive 14, and then that cancels that.
Oh, yeah.
out.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah. -2 would give us, but we would have both a -14, so that's not going to work. So let's do 2. All right. So I'm going to multiply the top one by 2. And 2 times 7x is what? 14x. 2 times 8y is 16y. 2 times 7? 14.
Hold up.
Oh.
We got trouble.
I'm canceling both of them things out.
Mhm.
I'm just calling it 0. How about that?
Okay. So, yeah, we have a -14x and a positive. Cancel. -16 and 16.
Go ahead and cancel that.
Cancel. Do the 0 and -0 and 14 cancel?
No.
No, that equals what? 14. So if everything cancels over here, we're basically left with just plain old 0. No variables whatsoever. This is all canceled.
No solution.
If the variables cancel, but you're left with a different number, like a number over here, that's no solution. If everything all the way across would cancel, that would be infinite solutions. But this one is no solution.
Are you serious? Like, nice work, Odie.
If there was a kid that was smart, it would say Brody.